Hi, I'm Kathleen Legendre, Managing Attorney for Volunteer Engagement at the Pro Bono Project. Today we're going to discuss the clerk of court fees and the Forma Pauperis procedure. This video provides information only. For legal advice, you will need to hire private counsel. We do also recommend you visit louisianalawhelp.org. LouisianaLawHelp.org is a Louisiana free resource to find civil legal aid resources in your community, as well as attorneys in our area who are in good standing. So again, this video will briefly discuss those fee structures that are established by the clerk of court. So a clerk of court is a separate organization from the actual courthouse. Although they are housed together, it is the clerk of court's responsibility to manage the paperwork and the fee processing. So when you're initially going to court, we recommend that you visit their website to determine what those fees are, as well as going to the actual court to confirm you are receiving the right, most current information. For the Pro Bono Project, we provide volunteer assistance at the 24th Judicial District Court in Gretna, Louisiana, Jefferson Parish, and New Orleans at the Orleans Civil District Court located on Loyola Avenue. Those locations, they generally have their fees online, but at the 24th, they also provide a trifold brochure, which is available at the first point of entry. So what you would do is you would look up what your case matter is. So if you're dealing with a divorce, that is considered a civil matter, also domestic. And so starting with divorce with acceptance or divorce without acceptance, it will determine how much you're looking at paying. If your defendant is willing to accept the divorce, meaning that you will be moving towards a default judgment, then you would have a certain price. But if your defendant needs to be served by the sheriff, maybe served multiple times, the fee can go up. Additionally, you may have additional motions or other documents, copies, etc., which also causes the fees to go up. But again, your clerk of court would be able to provide that information for you. However, it is our citizens' right to access the court even if we cannot afford it. The way that the court provides that relief is through the Forma Pauperis filing. This is a document where you will detail to the court your monthly income and your monthly expenses. It's at the discretion of the court as to whether or not they accept or deny your request to waive fees to be paid at a later date or to have those fees cast upon your defendant. Also, if you decide to cast the cost to your defendant, you have to state as to why the defendant should be responsible to pay, and you must pray for that in your documents, as well as confirm it within your judgment. But for today, we're going to focus on what is that Forma Pauperis. We don't know the clear criteria of why the courts will approve some and deny others, but we do believe it is tied to the federal poverty guidelines. The federal poverty guidelines are published, and as a self-represented litigant, again, it's your responsibility to identify what is the most current information for your year. But looking at 2019 for a family of 4, your family's household income, meaning collectively in the home, is approximately $25,750. That's approximately just over $2,100 a month or $12.38 an hour. So that is 100%. We believe that the court may look at 125% of those federal poverty guidelines, and it may look at even more, but this is our guideline. If you're earning approximately $2,500 a month, that's about $30,375 a year, we believe that it would be discretionary to the court as to whether or not they may accept or deny. Again, we don't know what the exact criteria is, and so for access point, you're welcome to file an Forma Pauperis document. It's just not guaranteed that it will be accepted by the judge. So the form itself is available on the internet. Simply type in Forma Pauperis into any search engine and include Louisiana, and it will bring up a form that looks like this. As you can see, it's fairly lengthy, and the service that I'm using to record this video, unfortunately, it doesn't permit me to zoom into that document. So I'll do my best to describe it to you briefly. At the top, you have your header. This header is going to reflect the same as your petition. So if it's Jane Doe versus John Doe, we're going to replicate that here with Jane Doe at the top and John Doe at the bottom. Anytime you return to this case matter, filing any additional motions or any documents, you will mirror that header. Even if you're John Doe, you utilize Jane Doe versus John Doe, and you would be the mover in the body of the document. The initial part of the document is requesting your personal information, whether or not you're a student, and who lives in your household, how many children, what's their relationship to you, and so forth. And then request more details regarding your monthly income from your current employer, or if you're unemployed, or who your last employer was, and what that monthly income would be. And then request how many taxes you're paying. And at the bottom of the document, you give the grand total for what your income is from employment. The second page of this document requests more information regarding what social services you may be receiving. Are you receiving food stamps, Social Security? Are you receiving any child support? Also, what assets do you have? Do you own a vehicle, a checking account, a savings account? Then it will inquire as to what your expenses are. How much do you spend in rent, electricity? Also, you'll include any credit card debt and loans you may have, and at the bottom of the document, you'll tally up how much your expenses are per month. So if you're only doing your hair 4 times a year, you're going to want to get the total of that and then divide it by 12 to give an idea of how much it would be monthly expense. The third page of this document is one that you will bring to your notary, bringing a state-issued identification. You'll be notified that falsifying any information on this document is perjury, and you can go to jail for falsifying this information. You'll swear before the notary that everything is true and correct, and for your wants and needs and your poverty status, you cannot afford the filing fees at the time of filing. Your notary will sign the bottom of the document. You will also need, on the last page, a friend or a relative, someone who is aware of your poverty status, to come with a state-issued ID as well, to also swear that you are in need of waiving the fees or casting the cost onto the defendant because of your poverty status. Now, this cannot be someone who's a party to the case. So if you're, again, a divorce, Jane Doe cannot certify that John Doe cannot afford the filing fees. That it's going to need to be another party who can attest to that. This document also requests that a legal service corporation designee sign this, but since you're representing yourself, that can be left blank. And at the bottom of the document is the order for which the judge will write denied or accepted, depending on what their decision is on your legal matter. For more information on representing yourself at the 24th JDC in Orleans and other locations, we invite you to visit our website at probono-no.org. Again, LouisianaLawHelp.org also has a great deal of resources to assist you as well. We hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much and good luck.